You know, Gab will come up to me and I don't know, like wiggle his in my face or something. That's a stupid example. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. Ali here, a platform where we chat about sex, relationships, and other fun stuff. Before I get into today's video, I just want to say a massive thank you to all my former and my current Patreon subscribers. I am currently almost at 1,000 subscribers, and I cannot thank you guys enough for supporting me as a creator and supporting this channel. That's crazy. That's massive. I wasn't expecting that at all. So, merci beaucoup. Thank you so much. Muchas gracias a todos. I cannot thank you guys enough for the support. And if you'd like to get in on the action, then you could definitely do so by clicking on the link below this video. On my Patreon, I post a lot of exclusive Patreon only content. No, it's not full of nudes. It's mostly full of uncensored stories that I share from stuff that I've shared on YouTube. There are a lot of details that I save for my intimate hub on Patreon that I do not share on YouTube. And I do a lot of live Q&As with Gab. We do them weekly where we're just chilling in our kitchen, chatting with you guys. It's a very safe, non-judgmental zone about, you know, all the weird stuff that I talk about on YouTube. It's been really fun. So the Patreon will definitely evolve with time. Maybe there'll be some photos one day. I don't know. As of right now, please don't ask. That's it. Let me get into today's video then, shall we? I wanted to share with you guys something that I've recently learned that really resonated with me. FYI, I've been doing a lot of deep diving into sex lately, and I'm not just talking about the physical act. I'm talking more into deep diving into knowledge, information, podcasts, books, and all that stuff. I mean, I was reading a lot of books before, but I feel like now I'm immersing myself more than ever in the topic. It's very interesting because oftentimes there is so much going on in your body and in your brain that you kind of like, you know what you're feeling, but you don't really know how to label it or how to make sense of it or how to explain to someone what's going on with you. So when you read a lot about this stuff, it really gives you the language and the tools to be able to communicate that to someone and also for yourself to understand what the hell is going on in your body and in your brain. One of the things that I have learned recently is that there are two types of desires. So I didn't know if you guys knew that, but there is. And there is spontaneous desire and there is responsive desire. Now, what do those mean? Spontaneous desire is more of a mental desire. It's that feeling where you're horny all the time. You're thinking about sex, you're smelling sex, you're looking at sex, you wanna have sex. Whoever you're with, you know that feeling when you just meet someone and you're dating them and you're so sexually attracted to them and there's so much chemistry and all you want to do is fuck them. You're on your second or third date and you're in the grocery store and you're already wet or the guy's already hard and you're like, oh my God, I can't wait to get home so we can just make out or make out in the parking lot or whatever. That spontaneous desire that just takes over you. Just like a food craving or something where you just, you know, you're craving chips or you're craving pizza. That happens to me a lot. I love food. And then you have responsive desire, which is physical first. So you need to have some physical stimulation in order for the arousal or the desire to happen. How was that? Did that make sense? Because I'm really trying to practice verbalizing what's in my head, especially when it comes to delivering information. Let me know how that was for you. Back to spontaneous and responsive desire. It has been scientifically proven that women tend to have less spontaneous desire than men, and over time become more responsive. And that just made so much sense to me. And I'm so happy I have a label for it and I'm able to use that language to explain how it is that I'm feeling, right? Because for those of you who have been with someone for a long time, so Gab and I have been together for 4 years now, I can say that I have went through that process. And it's not just with Gab, I felt this with other boyfriends as well. When you first meet someone and for the first X amount of time, all you wanna do is have sex and it's so good. I mean, maybe it's not always good, but in my case, especially with Gab, it was good. I loved having sex with him. Like, sex was the best sex that I ever had with someone was with Gab. And we just wanted to fuck all the time, a few times a day, for many months and years. I'd say that we've been together 4 years now. So I don't know, maybe the first like 3 years. So I guess we're rolling into a new phase now, you know? Obviously, life happens, you know, you're with someone for a long time, so you kind of get used to them. You have that little routine, you know their scents and their odors and their touches, and you just know their body, right? And you also have your routine that you have with each other sexually. I wouldn't say that it's not exciting anymore, but there's definitely a difference between when you first met versus when you're with someone for a long time, right? And then time goes by and you have sex less frequently, you have to put more effort into having sex, and so on and so on. And in the last little while, I've been telling myself, like, why don't I have that desire anymore, that spontaneous desire? I'm still very much in love with Gab. I'm still very much attracted to Gab. Even when I masturbate, I think of Gab. Like, sometimes I think of other things, but most of the time I imagine Gab in some scenario or something like that. So it's not that I'm not attracted to him anymore. So like, what's going on? I have noticed sometimes that when we do have sex, I'm not aroused to begin with. I don't wake up in the morning that much anymore and be like, oh, I'm so horny, I want to have sex. It usually starts with some touching or some kissing, and then I sort of get in the mood, which is responsive desire. So when I learned that term, I said, oh, that's what's going on with me. I've transitioned from spontaneous desire to responsive desire, where I need some physical stimulation in order to get in the mood. When I heard these two definitions, it made me feel not at peace, but it made me feel, what am I trying to say? My God, you guys see how much trouble I have describing what's going on in my head. It made me feel normal and relaxed and understand myself and know that it's not that I've like lost my sexual drive. It's just, I need physical stimulation. I need the foreplay. Whereas before, I didn't really need it that much. I could just jump on him, or he could just jump on me, or we could just jump on whoever, and it's like, it's there, and we just have sex and the desire is always there. But now I need to warm up. I need to warm up a little bit. And you know, like I said, science shows that women are way more responsive desired than men. I'm not gonna say all women, because there are for sure many women who still experience spontaneous desire. And I also don't think that it's something is like one or the other. I think it fluctuates in phases depending where you are in life and who you're with and what kind of experiences you have. And I don't think that you start out life with spontaneous desire and then you move to responsive desire and then that's it for you for the rest of your life, right? It definitely comes in phases depending where you are in life, who you're with, what you're doing, how you're feeling, how old you are, life stuff, external factors, all that kind of stuff has an impact on your spontaneous and responsive desire. This topic also got me thinking about many comments that I receive, mostly from men, either in comments on YouTube or in private messages on my Patreon. And if you are a woman and you resonate with this at all, please drop in the comments below, or you can send me a private message to my email if you don't want to comment publicly. I would love to hear your take on this, because I often get messages from men who are in a sexless marriage and who share with me that they would like to be more sexual, not necessarily with somebody else. They would love to be sexual with their wives, but their wife is not feeling sexual at all. They don't seem to be interested. They don't want to initiate or participate. And then there's the guy who's kind of like, I don't know what to do. They watch content like mine to either, I don't know, get off or get ideas to, you know, try and spruce up their sex life. Or they go on sites like Ashley Madison. If you didn't watch that video of mine, you could check it out about, you know, men going on a dating website to find an affair and so on, to seek some sex outside of the marriage. When I hear this, and again, I'm no expert, I'm not a sex coach or therapist or anything like that, but I'm sure and certain that the women or the wives are thinking the same thing, but are not communicating it as much. Like, oh, like I live in a sexless marriage, my husband doesn't understand what I want, and there's just like zero communication going on there. A miscommunication in terms of what kind of desire is required of the other person, because the male for sure has some spontaneous desire still, because they have much more higher spontaneous desire than women. And the women have more responsive desire. So they need physical touch, they need physical stimulation to get aroused. And sometimes they're expected to just like turn it on like that. I mean, I've definitely been in positions before where, yeah, like I am expected to just turn it on like that. You know, Gab will come up to me and I don't know, like wiggle his dick in my face or something. That's a stupid example. And so when Gab does that, I'm just like, nah, you know, I'm not really in the mood. Like I need a little bit of foreplay. I need a little bit of love. And I'm just like, no thanks, no thanks. And I'll kind of shut him down, you know? I mean, that doesn't really happen often. I don't even know why I gave that an example. He doesn't really wiggle his dick in my face that much, but you know what I mean for the sake of the example. And yeah, so we're expected to just sort of turn it on, and it doesn't always really work like that. And then you got the man who might not really know what to do, might not know how to foreplay with his wife. She might not even know what interests her sexually anymore and might want the need to explore. And he doesn't really have the patience for that. He just wants to like get it in or get sucked, and there's just like a lot of, again, mixed communication stuff going on there. That's it. Then you got two people who don't talk at all and who don't get off at all. And it's sad and unfortunate, because then maybe you got someone who's gone off and cheating and I don't know, then divorce and this and that. Who the fuck knows? I don't know. That's it, friends. That's pretty much what I want to share with you. What I learned about spontaneous and responsive desire. If you're interested in learning more about it, I definitely recommend you give it a Google. I'll put some resources down below of some interesting podcasts that I have recently listened to that talk about responsive and spontaneous desire. And yeah, if you can get something out of it, great. Let me know how I did explaining that terminology in this video, because I'm also trying to practice regurgitating information to you guys. I've always been really terrible at delivering information in a cohesive and coherent way. So I'm really trying to practice, because I really do think these are very interesting things to talk about. And I also just want to make sense when I deliver this information to you. That's my food for thought today. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, if you experience this as an individual, if you experience this in your relationship. And I would love it if some woman or some non-binary or whatever you identify as would chime in below as well. So that's it, friends. Anyways, if you want to support this channel, click on the link in the description below this video. And comme d'habitude, merci beaucoup à vous tous. Je vous aime. Bye.